Hello. So in previous demos, we looked at cleaning up and visualizing and exploring the bicycle rental data set using tools either in R or Python, depending which track you're in. In this demo, I'm going to show you how to take then that data set that we've prepared and create a machine learning model with it. And essentially what we're going to create is a linear regression model. So it's actually fairly simple in Azure machine learning. So here's where we left off, where we had selected some columns. So all I have to do now is I'm going to split the data. So I am going to take 70% of my data, 0.7, and use that as my training data set. The remaining 30% I'm going to use for evaluation, which I'm going to score the model. Now I need to define that I'm going to use linear regression. And I have a number of choices of parameters here. We're just going to use ordinary least squares, which is what Cynthia's been discussing. And I'm just going to leave the regularization weight fairly low here. And I gave it a random seed. And so that untrained model goes into the untrained model input of this trained model module. So we have 70% of the data in an untrained model, and that's what we're going to use to train it. And then the trained model, goes and we score that other 30% of the data and see how we did. So it's simple enough. Let me save that and run it. And the model has run. And let me visualize it for you. So what we're interested in is comparing count to scored label. And we could go through and look at these numbers side by side, and you'll see there's quite a bit of variation here. Some look pretty good, some don't. But let's see if we can create a chart and just have a quick look at that. So we're just going to compare the count, which is our actual label, to the scored label values. And, well, quite a bit of dispersion. But you see that there's generally an increase as the count increases along this x-axis. The scored label is generally increasing along this y-axis. But there's also, pay attention to this because we'll deal with this later, there also seems to be a number of outliers, especially at very low demands here. It's a little hard to see that with all these overlapping points, but I think, and of course there's time issues and all that, but I think for now we can say we've created our first model and it's not too bad. So there you have it. That's how simple it is to create and have a first look at a machine learning model in Azure Machine Learning.